Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Dan S. I thought I would put up a video, much like many others, just talking about my goals or lack thereof for 2019, the different accounts that I'm playing, and then just my current mindset toward the game. Will be good to look back on in the future to see if anything has changed or whatever. So starting off with this account, this is Dan S. My main. I would show you its stats, but it's a maxed account, so instead I just pulled this image off of CML real quick to show current stats. As of now, no 200 mils. I just kind of bounce between whatever skilling method seems fun, although increasingly more and more this seems like the most forced account that I'm playing other accounts and enjoying them a lot still. I really like the game, but more and more it's less about this account. So I like this account because I'm able to do whatever I want, but it's just occasionally hard to maintain focus, and it sometimes feels forced. Favorite skills and what I would expect to be doing at least some of this year. Oop, I'm really fucking up my banking right now. I did a decent amount of crafting and a little bit of herblore last year. I would expect both of those to continue to go up. I like playing the game somewhat forced to feel like I have to make money, and those two skills are pretty relaxed in terms of I can do whatever on alts pretty much while doing them. As you can see now, red d'hide bodies, got these for a pretty cheap price, so I don't really mind doing them over something like blacks because I'm not too concerned about the XP. The other type of activity that I really like to do on this account are skilling methods that I find extremely enjoyable, even if they're somewhat click intensive. So like when I'm really focused on this account, the type of thing that you'll likely see me doing would be like black chins for hunter. I think it's a really good method, and just pretty much constantly getting better. Swimming is a very good thieving / agility method that I find myself enjoying for long periods of time and stopping for almost no reason. I don't really know. Generally, just if I get inspired to do something else on another account is when I stop doing swimming. It's never really due to not liking the method. Although a few bug fixes would be greatly appreciated. And then something that I did recently was get 99 prayer on my main alt, which we'll learn a little bit more about in a little bit. And I did Wildy prayer for that, and that was a very enjoyable method. I think it's super fun. Hydra bones seem to put something in between dragon and superiors, so I might look into those later this year. I definitely expect some prayer before the end of this year, just because they're like legitimately fun activities. A lot of other stuff that I can do on this account. Any of like the tick manipulation gatherers are decently fun. I'll do those in small amounts, but I wouldn't expect more than a couple hundred EHP total, just because I find myself not wanting to do them for super extended periods of time. Progression's just a little too slow. I'm a little too casual to really do those. I would expect to look into some still unexplored metas on this account. Aerial fishing seems fun enough that I'll at least give it a go and see if I enjoy it. The problem with that is it cuts into hunter XP, which is probably my favorite skill in the game. So I don't think I would ever want to do it long term, just because I like black chin so much. And then anything else new that comes out, I'll potentially look into on this account. So still very much a skiller on this account. I enjoy skilling and seeing ranks go up and everything, but maybe taking more of a back seat on this account in the future than I ever have before. There might be times where it's completely flatlined or just parked at Redwoods for an extended period of time, because I'm more inspired to play some of the other accounts that I'm playing, but well, I guess we'll just see how that all goes. This is Karari, the account that I would consider my main alt. It has a decent amount of account progression holistically. Just to give a quick snapshot of everything for the future, 229 quest points, 2022 total level, with some pretty easy total levels still to get, and then achievement diary looking like this. Looks like 2 are complete and a couple, or 3 are complete and a couple are getting pretty close. Haven't done anything current in Kavos yet really on any of my accounts. So this account generally I would consider a PVMer and a completionist first and a skiller second. I find myself really enjoying PVM recently, especially team-based PVM with Chambers of Xeric, mostly raiding with just a small group of friends with trios and 4s, which is really enjoyable. No drops yet, but I'll probably look to be doing that kind of content in the future. This account potentially taking more of a front seat this year. I think there's a lot of things to do on it that I haven't had the experience to do before, and I'm not really motivated to do anything like PVM based on my main. I would probably rather park it at Redwoods and just progress this account. Recently got 99 prayer on it. Just been, like I said, raiding a lot in the future. If I had to make predictions for what I do this year, probably a few PVM pets if everything goes well. Currently I just do like Zulrah, before Cath, kind of like the main money making ones, but as I eventually get pets for those, I'll probably move on from them as opposed to continue to camp them just for the money. I figure this account will make enough money passively doing several different things, and then potentially moving on to Boss Slayer, kind of maybe loosely inspired by like Rig or like Hey Jace's alt in terms of doing all the different Slayer bosses and things like that. Sounds fun. Already 85 on this account, so I think you could really get into that roll into that pretty easily with just a little bit of point boosting. Konar Slayer seems really fun. However, the account or the XP is just so bad there that it probably would get old pretty quick, so I wouldn't expect too much from this account or from Konar Slayer, although it was an idea that I thought about for a little while, especially with the drop table getting nerfed. I probably just won't ever go back to it. So by the end of this year, I would probably expect Quest Cape, a few more 99s just happening kind of passively. There are so many of them that are so quick that it's really not a big deal too. If I camp Wintertodt while doing something a little less AFK on my main or whatever, I don't know. There's a lot of room for improvement to this account, and it's probably the one that I'm most excited to play. So yeah, this is Kurari. So account number 3 is Ririka. This account is very boring. Like, it's always just been an account that I've had, and it has membership or whatever pretty frequently, not all the time, but there's not much to it. I almost considered not including it in the video because it's very uninteresting. Right now it's kind of set up to be admittedly somewhat jank raids alt. I don't have void range, and I don't really feel like putting much money on this account, so right now it is a prep alt for raids. Opportunity for improvement this year on this account would be probably Dragon Slayer 2, getting it more souped up, but I don't know any kind of end goal that I could even conceivably have on this account. It's ready for Spec Restore if I ever wanted to do like a Spec Restore based boss on Kurari. This account is available, but for the meantime, this is pretty boring, and I would probably consider it to stay. Not too much more than what we currently have here, other than some untradables and maybe something like 90 Herblore if I really get into Raids 1. And then this is 111 Fishkite 1, which is my Ultimate Iron Man, which probably my most unique account. My main hasn't really done anything too interesting. Kurari's pretty much just a crappy main at this point. Ririka is pretty much a crappy alt at this point, and then this is my ultimate. I enjoy this account because I feel absolutely no outside stimulus to do whatever anyone else wants me to do. It's completely up to me what I do on the account in terms of methods, quests, whatever. I don't really care. I like that this account is very much an expression of like what I really want to do in the game. It happens to be on Ultimates. Oh, this is free to play right now, so some of the stats are going to be grayed out and stuff. But on Ultimates, I happen to enjoy farming quite a bit, or just thinking in the future for herb lore on Ultimates. I think it's a super interesting method. So I do a lot of farm runs. I did a little bit of bird runs for a while. Other than that, the account hasn't done a ton of stuff too much that you can see. But there's been a lot of hours sunk into the account just doing like random shit, like a bunch of really bad herb runs that got me 67 farming. For this account in the short term, my plan was always to get Rogue's outfit, which required acquiring some sort of suicide method. So either Regicide for Zulrah or chopping mushrooms for the Volcanic Mine one. However, with the most recent update, you have access to whatever the Farming Guild boss is called, which charges you 25k if you die in there. So that seems pretty big for this account, because I really don't like questing on this account at all. It kind of burnt me out from it the last time I tried to play it. But yeah, so Farming Guild seems pretty cool. That would allow me to continue the plan of Blackjack to 99, which builds a decent amount of capital. At that point, I'm able to thieve master farmers for pretty much as many herb and hop seeds as I want, which allows me to keep up herb runs and bird runs for the entirety of this account. There's going to be other things. Anytime you do anything on an account like this, there's 8 other steps that you didn't consider beforehand. So I would expect to fish a decent amount, probably just AFK fishing on this account throughout the year, if I in fact unburn from it. So getting somewhat high fishing would be fun, just to skip some agility levels and keep up with herb runs and bird runs to potentially smash out some herb lore at some point. What I won't do on this account, or what I don't plan on doing at all, is like the very standard like combat / slayer system to get a bunch of alcohols and seeds and everything. I'd potentially look into like farming contracts and stuff potentially, but I'm not very interested in training combat on this account for a variety of reasons, but mainly it's just, I don't know, I feel no motivation towards it. So just hanging out in Olympus, trying out various Ultimate Iron Man skilling methods, and potentially smashing out some cool skills. I really like this account. So that's all the accounts that I currently have. As I get burnt, I generally will start new fun side accounts. I've considered like a level 3 or just a regular Iron Man before, although I don't see that being a huge possibility for the future. But yeah, I mean, if I make these yearly, it's definitely possible that things have completely changed, or I've just burnt by next year. So I guess watch this space.